Oh, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, he named the book off of the Italian Renaissance, of course, with the idea that the Medicis patronized these different artists, and they got them all in one place by their patronage. And it was when you had all these different people come together in one place that we had the explosion that we call the Italian Renaissance. The intersections and diversity driving innovation. And so when I have different disciplines intersecting, that's where you're going to find something new, something that hadn't been done before. The example I like to give people is from a business plan. If I take 4 business majors and I stick them around the table and I say, write me a business plan, they'll be able to do it, and it'll be functional, and it'll look like every single business plan ever written. But if I take one business major and throw a graphic designer in there, and throw a historian, and throw an engineer, those other people are going to have different viewpoints and different worldviews that are going to influence the business plan, so it's going to come out looking different.
You have a library here?
We do not have a library, we have a learning commons, and we're going to cover that in just a second. So hold that thought.
I missed it. If you told us how many years you've been going on this thing, but how is it going and how do you measure it?
Okay, so it was 5-year planning. We had our soft opening about 2 years ago. Was the soft opening, and then we had full run of classes pretty much the semester after that. So it's been going about a year and a half.
In 2018. So we opened on a Friday, official opening with the officials here to cut the ribbon, and then on Monday following, we had the National Fab Lab Network National Symposium here.
Oh, wow.
So it was
going before your campus, or do in fact they integrate with some of the people?
Many HCC students do go on to 4 years. We also have internship programs set up with a number of different recent ones that we've just incorporated that wasn't part of the original design. It's straight down the hall here. You see that backlit lab at the end of the hall there. That's actually getting set up as an AR/VR lab. Whatever problem they might have. So it's one of the reasons why throughout this entire building, there's so much diversity in what you're going to see. So we've got the learning commons. You actually show the hardware, show the materials. These are just different things that are moving forward because paper resume isn't enough a lot of times anymore. So this gives us a way to get around that.
what additional
And revenue generating. One of the ideas on that business plan that was originally established for this building was for the building to generate revenue for itself, basically create a self-sustaining building. And part of that is because, higher education needs to start looking at these things. We need to start looking at how do you fund your programs, because the old sources of funding are not all.
So this may not.
Also for Ideas Academy, which is a challenge-based program that students participate in, where and we didn't quite always know why we were being introduced to the computer, but everybody told us this is very important. You need to pay attention. You need to learn what you can. Computer numeric controlled machines that do routing and milling of parts, laser cutters that use lasers to machine parts and things. And these are going to change industries and provide new
opportunities. And so the upper 2 floors are classrooms with the entire 3rd floor dedicated to STEM disciplines. So we have advanced, have you seen the labs? Okay. So we have advanced state-of-the-art laboratories, and we even have a science research lab here on this floor. And this is kind of the technological anchor to the building, the makerspace, idea studio. And kids can come in and do all kinds of things, which really sort of facilitates and fosters. This college, Dr. Zachary Hodges, before we recombobulated our system and transformed it, I guess is the word. He asked me to return home to create this building. And I said, well, okay. because, you know, the machines and tools and everything else that we have, and even the concepts, we expect there to be fluidity in that. That's a little expensive, by the way. This is what helped drive the cost of higher ed, but you can't bring students in and say,
their prospective employees or their new employees on whatever it is that they're doing. The problem that I see with that is, and I worked for Exxon, one of their places, for a long time, and to a degree they were doing some of that. But you learn what they want you to learn. You have a more broad-based learning experience.
innovation pathways, future-proofing our students, because we have to give them the mindsets and skill sets, I'm sure you've said that, to prepare them for the work of tomorrow as well as the work of today, because AI is a threat to all of our jobs. You know, I'm lucky. If you look at the jobs least or most likely to be automated, the job least likely to be automated is a college administrator.
The greatest was called How to Do Programming in Fortran.
But you know,
There's people doing Fortran. Change. She was even considering a prospective change of major, all because she had exposure to something that she'd never had heretofore, and it helped infuse creativity, you know, into her mindset that, hey, you know, I'm actually creative. And that's something that so many people don't know. Everybody has a creative capacity. It's not that you're going to be the next, you know, Leonardo da Vinci or anything like that. It doesn't matter, but everybody has an instinct to want to create.
Math and science scores. I have a niece over there, so we were talking about how they teach there, and she goes, no, actually, we are looking at what the United States is doing, because our students don't have the creativity built into the programs, the project-based learning, and all the different things that the United States.
Destruction to something, you know, and so we went with that theme. So you'll see there's fire and destruction growing into a garden, growing into healthy water, and then that tree that's going to spin on top. And into someone else's design, you know, or they've had to solve something about someone else's design, or come up with a design and then walk away and just hope the second team makes it, you know, which is pretty hard to do.
Because you haven't had a chance to go.
The planes, another student's in charge of painting the water. Another student is making a glass blown sculpture for inside there. The engineering people are doing a field.
Constant change in information. We live in a world where nothing stays the same anymore. That's just a very graphic way of presenting it. So that's something that we had there. Out, remove the center of the classroom, so to speak. So allow more mobility and flexibility with your interactions. Also to encourage some more collaborative project-based learnings. That's why we have the pods here. Everybody's facing each other. that lends itself to that collaboration, lends itself to enable the projects. Each of these pods individually has its own whiteboard, has its own screen that they can access through the pod. Push out to these screens. So if they want to highlight this pod's project, you can pull that up on the screen. Have more modular areas within the room. But that's what that is. There's actually one of those tombstones underneath each of these pods.
See if I can get another one here.
Small group, we'll just kind of sit over here by the windows, or if it's a big group, we can fill the whole space. One person can talk to the whole group, people can share information, people can do table talk work and work in small teams in the same room, put stuff up, walk around, share it, rotate around, have groups share out what they're doing.
Whole setup for this room is customizable. We get layouts per customer. These black bell looking things over the doors are actually the camera systems. So there's no need to bring in additional camera equipment in. So basically everything is covered within this room.